Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like. Here's our MC, Nima.
Mick, you can sit here.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming out today. My name is Nima Brewer. I am with AFT Kentucky Fayette 120. We are organizing in Fayette County right now for a collective bargaining agreement for all the public school employees in Fayette County. I'm looking around here today and you all could be anywhere and you're standing here in solidarity with your brothers and sisters in the union, and I want to say thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm a third generation union member, proud, and I will continue to be a union member until the day I go into the grave, and I hope they put Union Yes on my tombstone when I die. You see, here's the thing, a lot of people want to talk bad about unions. Unions are the people who work in this country. We are the ones who pick up your trash, who drive your kids to school, who teach your kids, who take care of your kids, feed your kids. This is who we are. We are the workers of this country. We are united against billionaire power grabs, pushing us around and giving us scraps when they eat from the trough. One thing or another. This isn't about party politics. What this is about your ability as a working person to put food on your table, have dignity at your workplace, a voice in what happens with your working conditions, and a safe space for all of us to say, this is not right, we need to do something else. This is not working for us. It does not work for the people that work here. We need better, we deserve better, and we should have better. You see, a union is not something you join, it is who you are as a person. It is caring more about each other and your community than you do your immediate self. That is what union does. I look around at all these people that are my union brothers and sisters wearing these blue shirts, and they are my family. They are not just another union member. They're not a dollar bill to me. They are family to me. They are community. What I'm going to encourage you all to do today, since you're here, you give a damn. And I want to say thank you. What you all need to do now is we've got to get organized, y'all. We've got to come out of our silos. We've got to stop playing political games with each other. We've got to stop pushing each other down to raise a few of us whenever we can all together rise when we stand up against the people that are pushing us down. So I'm asking everybody, get over yourselves. I'm getting over myself right now. Right? I'm here. I'm a regular person. I'm standing here with you all. And I say, let's go Lexington. Let's turn Lexington into a union town. We deserve it. Everyone deserves a union. If you are not a suit and you are in boots, you deserve a union in your workplace. What I'm going to ask is to get involved. Get involved with your union. Get involved with these groups that are around here. Find a place. If you are not an active union member right now, become one. Find a union. Start a union. Talk about union. That is the only way we break the narrative that unions are bad. The only way is by showing that we're good, that we do the work of the community that other people don't want to do. We do it, we see it. It comes through our schools every day. Every issue that is going on in Fayette County comes right into our doors in the public schools every single day. Hunger, lack of health care, dental, vision, food security. These all come through our doors. We ask for your support. as we try to get a collective bargaining agreement in this city, we've been fighting for 3 years. It's time. It's time, Fayette. It's time to give teachers and our parents and our bus drivers a voice where we can make decisions as well about our budget. We can allocate our resources to where they need to be, and that is in the classroom with our kids. We can't do it alone. So what I'm asking you all to do for the next hour is hit up these booths, move from your seats, get up and meet these fine people from all these grassroots groups that are out here today doing the work.
I love it.
To make sure that we protect Lexington, we protect Fayette County, we protect the kids of Fayette County. We've circled this community in what it's like to be union. Not to be a member of a union, but to live union every day in all of your actions. That is my call to you all today. And if you want to go ahead and start moving around, we're making signs. We're doing all this fun stuff. We've got bubbles. I mean, who doesn't want a bubble? Bubble machine. We've got all these things. Please feel free to talk to each other, gather, do all these things, and then we're going to get started with the speakers at 6 o'clock. Does that work for everybody? I hope so, because that's the schedule. All right. You all have fun. We'll see you at the tables. Enjoy. The band can keep on playing some great songs for us, and we're going to have a great day celebrating your holiday, Labor Day. Thank you.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Is there aught we hold in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and would crush us with his might? Is there anything left to us but to organize and fight? For the union makes us strong.
Cafeteria workers and anybody that works with our schools. So we appreciate you all coming out on your holiday brought to you by labor. So congratulate yourselves for actually having a holiday that celebrates the work that you do every day. I'm going to invite the folks who are scheduled to speak to go ahead and come on up here, because I'm going to introduce y'all as soon as I get my piece of paper here. We again appreciate y'all for being out here. And while we're talking about why you're here, the unfortunate thing is a lot of labor history and union history has been eradicated from a lot of our education. And I think that a lot of people don't understand Blair Mountain when I say Blair Mountain. Bloody Harlan when I say Bloody Harlan. My daddy was a United Mine Worker and still is today. And I'm going to tell you all, when people say, what do unions do for their community? I saw what unions do for their community. When I was growing up in Letcher County, the union built the hospital. The hospital that they're now trying to close. That was built by the union. Almost all your rural hospitals here in Kentucky were built by the United Mine Workers so their employees would have immediate care if something happened in the mines. That's how you got Appalachian Regional Hospital. And a lot of people don't understand that. The nursing facility, nursing home in Lexington County, built by the union. When communities come together by the reunion, they can do amazing things. But we got to get over ourselves. We got to quit playing politics with each other. We got to put down our pettiness against each other and get over ourselves and our personalities and get to doing the work of the people, for the people, by the people. And we need to do that right now. And you all being here today gives me great hope. What's going on in this country right now with working people is criminal. There is no other way to put it. You can't buy bacon. Toilet paper is probably going to go through the roof again. We got people that can't afford rent here in Fayette County. We have employees right now. There might be teachers or paraeducators in your school right now that cannot afford housing in the county that they work and live in. Unions build housing. AFT West Virginia has housing that it provides for teachers because there is no place to rent in McDowell County, one of the poorest counties in this nation. So what I'm telling you all is working people together, we're unstoppable. And that's why they try to stop us. That's why they union bust. That's why they talk us down. That's why they do all these things. But I'm here to tell you right now, it don't matter what people say. Because we show up, we put our boots on the ground, we get to work, we protect our community, we protect our own, and everyone rises when unions rise. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the Bluegrass Labor Council folks for the incredible picnic that they had today. I'd be remiss if I didn't welcome all the unions that are here represented. We need more of this. I'm actually going to be calling y'all and saying, hey, can I come over and sit on your back porch and we'll just sit around for a while? Y'all can come over too. I think they'd love to have us. I know I would. Come on by. But today is about you, the celebration of labor and what we can do moving forward together. And I just also wanted to say we're very lucky that we have a speaker here today that organized Blue Oval in Glendale, the electric battery plant for the United Auto Workers. I want to give them a round of applause if you all don't mind. I don't know if you all realize this or not, but organizing in the South is quite a chore. Organizing anywhere is quite a chore. People will look at you and say, I support unions, and then when a union shows up on their front door and says, hey, we'd like a collective bargaining agreement, they're like, oh, I didn't mean I supported y'all that way. Right? I don't know. So we have to hold people accountable, y'all. We've got to hold our electeds accountable. You can't just show up and have a hot dog and say that you are pro-union. If you are pro-union, you show up in the trenches every damn day and you say we have value, we have dignity, workers deserve a union. No more talk. We want to see action. We have the power, you all. We do, when we can put ourselves together and get to work. So I wanted to say thank you to the United Auto Workers, the newly United Auto Workers there in Glendale. They're still fighting. They still need us. There's still going to be people that try to decertify. There's going to be all kinds of stuff, you guys. But together we make enough noise, they're going to have to be able to say, no, we recognize this union and the union should be recognized. So I'm going to go ahead and let you all hear from people a lot smarter than me. And I'm going to kick it off with Mr. Lyles Taylor. He is with the Kentucky AFL-CIO. My brother.
Awesome. Well, I got to tell you, I got a lot to say, but I don't have anything better than say than union victories and union organizing effort. So thank you all. I got to tell you, I'm going to go off script and say that you're going to hear more about their fight. But as somebody from the outside watching pretty closely, they tried a lot. They tried a lot of tactics, and their tactics aren't done. One of the things that a lot of folks that maybe don't come out of the labor movement don't understand, that the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, National Labor Relations Act, is grossly outdated. It is grossly outdated. And one of the things that President Biden tried to do while in office and made some strides, but immediately the Trump administration attacked, was trying to update and modernize. There are very few incentives for an employer not to have dirty tactics during a union organizing drive. It's not a fair playing ground. And they worked hard every day and having those conversations with their brothers and sisters on the shop floor, and we will see their victory. We've seen it already. We're going to see it grow as we see the games that are played in Washington, all the way up across the country on these issues. So just keep a close eye on it. Their fight is not over. Please continue to stand with them. As Nima said, my name is Lyles Taylor. I'm with the Kentucky State AFL-CIO, and we're here today to celebrate and to rally. We're here to honor the hands that have built this nation and to stand with those who have the strength and courage to speak truth to power. We're here to recognize that our greatest power in this country is not in a bank account, it's not in a penthouse, it is not in a corporate C-suite. It is the power of our collective action. And as the son of a union middle school math teacher, it is easy for me to recognize that today's motto of workers over billionaires is a simple fraction. Workers are the numerator. We create the value. The billionaires are the denominator, who are seeking to have more and more. This tiny few who want our number smaller and their number larger. How do they do that? Again, it's a simple fraction. They divide us. They use old tactics like sexism, racism, xenophobia to pit worker against worker. They try to convince us that our problems are immigrants or someone who looks different than you, who loves someone different than you. Instead, the billionaires stand aside and rig the system against us. They push for policies like tariffs with an idea of protection, a promise to protect us, but instead we're seeing prices rise and they're making unprecedented wealth. They want us to be happy with scraps while they make more and more. They are trying to shrink the numerator and so they can grow the denominator. They want to turn us against each other and divide us so that we don't demand what we're owed. But we are not broken. We are not silent. We know that a bigger numerator, a united workers together, is the only way to change the equation. We stand united. So let me ask you, what do we do when they try to divide us with fear? We stand united. When they try to shrink our numbers with racism and hate, we stand united. And when they try to destroy our unions and our right to collectively bargain, we stand united. Look around you. This is the movement. It's every person here today, every union member across the country coming together. We're working to build a future with a living wage, where every family has a roof over their heads, and when a hard day's work is done, workers are met with dignity and gratitude. We're here to stand together, united. Happy Labor Day. Thank you.
Alrighty, we've got our next speaker, Hallie Hadfield. Haley, sorry about that. And she is with Blue Oval and helped organize this amazing win. Come on up.
Don't talk me about yourself. Forgive me, y'all. I haven't given a speech in a while. So, like Nima said, my name's Haley Hadfield. I work at Blue Oval SK in Glendale. It has been a hell of a fight to get our union put together. The company has tried all kinds of weird backwards crap to put us against each other. And clearly, it didn't work. Now, our fight is not over. There are still 41 challenge ballots in our election box. 31 of those are people who are not necessarily eligible for our unit. But, personally, I feel they're entitled to their own unions. It does not matter. Anywhere that you work that can exploit your labor for cash, for profit, at the expense of your ability to live and survive, does not deserve to run rampant. You deserve a union. And with that, as a worker organizer at Louisville SK, I've learned a lot about what it means to be a union member, but also what it takes to build your own from the ground up. Our campaign began in secret with about 6 Bosk employees and a single UAW staff organizer. Our campaign started in my living room, okay? The company has put up a hell of a fight. People have been wrongfully terminated, mercilessly lied to and bullied by the company, and intimidated and harassed by management. Some of us, myself included, have been referred to as malicious liars for wanting the conditions inside our plant to be known by the public. We came out barely ahead in our election on the 26th and 27th, and there are still 41 challenge ballots, like I said, so our fight is far from over. But, win or lose, Bosk must still fulfill its obligation to hire and retain employees at a certain rate so that they don't have to repay their loans early or give up the grant money they were given by Frankfurt. Almost $10 billion, you all. That's a lot of money. At the end of the day, there are a few things that consistently ring true about situations like this. 1, most, if not all, businesses and companies will do and say about anything to discourage workers from organizing and using their rights. Truth be damned. We, the workers, are not expendable. We are not simply assets, and we are worth more than the crumbs that our employers give us and tell us to be grateful for. 2, businesses and corporations must retain employees in order to exploit our labor to generate value for shareholders. Because of unfortunate and disgusting legal precedent set forth by Supreme Court case Dodge versus Ford, any corporation's primary responsibility is to its shareholders and not the employees. Exactly. Boo! Shame on you! This dynamic is what creates the necessity for unions everywhere. And last but certainly not least, if we as workers want to maintain our right to organize, we must continue to exercise it. I don't care what you do for work. I don't care if you're a nurse, a teacher, a pipe fitter, a plumber, a university TA. I don't care. You deserve a union. Wherever you work that may exploit your labor for any purpose, unionization is imperative. Period. This Labor Day, I ask that we all remember why we have such things as paid holidays, paid time off, our weekends, our retirement plans, and our Family and Medical Leave Act, because those are all hard-won rights and benefits, either by direct action as union members or through government lobbying. Without unions, corporate greed can and will hurt us all. Billionaires only exist because they have been allowed to exploit our labor for so long and with such heavy force. Unions tip the scales back the other way toward a more equal distribution of wealth, benefits, and working conditions. So let me ask you this. If we as workers don't come together and form unions in our own respective workplaces so that we can protect not just ourselves but each other, who will? Because it's not your employer. It certainly isn't. Every time I've been to a public rally for UAW throughout my organizing campaign, something that I believe it's Regional Director Tim Smith likes to do is drag all the members to the front of the room and start a common response. Who's got your back? We've got your back. And that's what your local is. It's your second family. They have your back. Thank you for having me.
I just wanted to bounce off what Haley had to say. Amazing job. But there would be no wealth without labor. And let's repeat that. No wealth without labor. All right. Our next speaker is Hope Brown from American Federation of Teachers right here in Fayette County. Good evening, brothers, sisters, and friends. Today is Labor Day.
And this day doesn't belong to CEOs, billionaires, or politicians. It belongs to us. The working people who make this country run. The people who make our schools run. I'm proud to be here with the American Federation of Teachers because teaching is important work. It is hard work. And like every worker, whether you drive a bus, fix a boiler, serve a school lunch, or counsel a student in crisis, you deserve dignity, respect, and a voice in the decisions that affect you. That is why we are fighting for the right to collective bargaining in Kentucky. Not just for teachers, but for every single staff member who makes our schools run. Why does it matter? Because when workers have a seat at the table, decisions are made in the open. Budgets are transparent and priorities are clear. Trust is rebuilt. Look at Fayette County. The district is facing a $16 million deficit this year. I'm going to say that again. $16 million. The district projected a contingency fund of $42 million. In reality, they believe it's somewhere from $15 to $22 million. We don't really know for sure. That's a gap of nearly $20 million. And when taxpayers ask, where did the money go? Silence, no answers, no accountability. Let's ask it together. Where did the money go? Where did the money go? That's not bad bookkeeping. That's bad democracy. And Fayette isn't alone. Schools across Kentucky are reporting the same problems: shortfalls, missing funds, no transparency. This is why all districts in our state, from Pike County to Fulton County, need collective bargaining. Here in Fayette, we could lead the way. But instead, the chair of the Fayette County School Board, who also sits on the board of the National Education Association, refuses to even allow a vote on collective bargaining. Does that make sense to anybody? Now, I'm going to be real with you. I'm new to this district, but I'm not new to teaching. This is my 24th year teaching social studies to Kentucky students. I know what it means to dedicate your life to this work. And I also know this: speaking out could be putting a big old target on my back. But that's right. That's asking questions, demanding accountability, and refusing to stay silent. It's always worth the risk. Because if we don't speak out, nothing changes. If we don't ask questions, the silence win. And I didn't become a teacher to be silent. I became a teacher to stand up for my students, for my colleagues, and for my community. Collective bargaining changes everything. It means no more backroom deals. It means bus drivers, social workers, and teachers finally have a voice. It means taxpayers get the transparency that they deserve. Y'all, this isn't radical. It's common sense. It's fairness. It's democracy in action. Labor Day reminds us that none of our rights were handed to us. We had to fight for the 8-hour day. We had to fight for safe workplaces. We had to fight for weekends. And now in Kentucky, we are fighting for collective bargaining. Because when workers fight, we don't just fight for ourselves. We fight for our students. We fight for our schools. We fight for the future of our communities. So let's leave here with this promise. We will not back down. We will not be silent. Because when workers have a voice, everybody wins. Happy Labor Day. Amazing job, Hope. Thank you so much. Teachers are the best, man. They really are, right? So next up, we've got Crystal McLeod. Crystal McLeod? Yeah. Yes, come on up. Crystal is a member of Teamster 651 here in Lexington. Give her a round of applause.
Happy Labor Day, everybody. I know that there are days where it feels really heavy out here for hardworking people. You almost don't know where to begin to even understand how bad the deck is stacked against us, much less what we can do to make it better. I started in Kentucky in 2002 as a single mom with $100 in my pocket, no car, and looking for work. For 8 years, I struggled just to scrape by. I didn't know anything about unions. I didn't have any previous family that was part of a union. And then in 2010, I became a Teamster. It changed everything. It changed everything. 15 years later, I make 6 times what I made whenever I first began. I have health insurance for me and my family that my company pays the premium for. I have a pension. Doesn't mean I didn't have to work hard. I still worked hard. It's just that now I had a union behind me that made it mean something. They brought me what I earned. They were there to advocate for me, to support me, to negotiate for me. And from that struggling mom, I find myself in Washington, D.C. I have lobbied with your Congress people for your rights, for your benefits. I have lobbied in Frankfurt. I started here broke with no car and a struggling mom. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone in this climate. Unions will be there for you every step of the way. The first recorded strike in American history was in 1768. Unions are as American as apple pie. They have been around for a long, long time, and we're not going anywhere. Right now, they're coming for your NLRB. They're coming for it. They want to nullify it. They want to make sure that your unions have no one to go to advocate for your rights. There are companies like SpaceX and Amazon, Trader Joe's and Starbucks that are doing everything they can to take your National Labor Rights Board away from you. They have stacks. They have stacks of charges of unfair labor practices against them. They don't want to follow the law. It's that simple. And now they have the people to help them continue to break the law. We have to stand beside each other. Do you see how it benefits them to divide us? Do you see how it benefits them to keep us angry at each other, pointing fingers at each other, because they know good and well if we put our pitchforks down and we turn and we looked at them, the game is up. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you work. It doesn't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are. You start from where you are with what you have, and you organize, and you unionize, and you never give up. We talk about the income gap. Has anybody really ever looked at the income gap? 35 million people, thereabout, make up the richest 10%. Of all the new wealth that is created in this country, they take 67 cents of every dollar of it. 175 million people make up the bottom 50. They take 2 pennies. 2 pennies of every dollar. Now they're trying to take away your health care. Now they want to get rid of your hospitals. They want to take away your education opportunities. Because they want to keep us dumb. They want to keep us mad. And they want to get us violent. They're doing everything they can to push us into that corner, and we can't do that. We can't do that. We don't have to do that. Because there are way more of us than there are of them. Teamsters Local 651 in Lexington, Kentucky has been doing a lot of organizing. And I'm here to tell all of you, if you want to be a Teamster, call us up. Yeah. Our team will be there with you from start to finish. They just organized Vision Works. They pulled all kinds of stops. They pulled all kinds of tricks. Because the tricks aren't always harass and intimidate. Remember, they'll come and say, okay, well here, we'll give you a $5 raise. We'll have a family fun day. We'll do these kinds of things. They will pull all kinds of tricks to convince you you don't need a union. You do. You do. And especially in this day and time, but you always do. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Amazing job, Crystal. Thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of bounce off what she's saying. 100%, absolutely. The middle class was built by unions. That is why you see your parents probably had a pension, and they probably bought their own home, and it's a nice home. That is the power of union. Let's make no mistake about it. Whenever we rise, everyone around us must compete and must rise as well. And that is the point of solidarity. When the Teamsters win, AFT wins. When UAW wins, AFT wins. And it continues and continues and continues. We must stick together, and I want to be clear. Superman is not coming. There's no Superman showing up. Every single one of you all have to be your own superheroes. Every single one of y'all have to put on the cape. Every single one of you all has to say, no more, we deserve better, we're going to get better, and we're going to fight until it happens. You bet that. Kelly Smith, a UCWN AFT.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a librarian. Good afternoon, Lexington. I am proud to be here today as a member of United Campus Workers, standing shoulder to shoulder with all of you to say loud and clear, workers over billionaires! Workers over billionaires! Workers over billionaires! Workers over billionaires! That's right. UCW stands as one voice together, fighting for the welfare of faculty, staff, and student workers who serve at Kentucky's campuses and universities. My union sister Dan is standing here. She has flyers about the things they're doing at her campus, so find her if you want more information. So I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that education, including higher education, is currently under attack. Let me repeat that. Education is under attack. Public education is America's great equalizer. As university employees, our work is vital for the public good. We teach and mentor the next generation for success. We maintain healthy, safe campuses. We conduct research that cures diseases and drives innovation. We maintain direct public services like hospitals, libraries, and community education centers, and so much more. So how are billionaires and corporate partners preying on our labor? They're making profits from our research. They rake in millions of dollars from our student athletes. They donate to universities so they can plaster their names on stadiums and buildings, giving them cheap advertising and a tax write-off. So they don't have to pay taxes to support the public good. They peddle expensive campus-wide textbook rental schemes that funnel tuition dollars straight into corporate profits and lock in guaranteed revenue streams. So they profit off of our labor time and time again, while we are asked to do more with less. Have you heard that before? AFT members in public schools, have you heard that? Do more with less? Our wages are stagnant. Our staffing levels are decreasing. We are definitely doing more with less, and we are not happy about it. Higher education is under attack from politicians who are trying to convince people that universities are bad because we champion progress, diversity, equity, inclusion. There's a whole list of words we can't even use. We can't talk about belonging because apparently that discriminates. I don't know. So these legislative efforts to demonize diversity, equity, and inclusion are a smokescreen to foment intolerance and reinforce racism. The politicians in Frankfurt don't want a more educated public, and they don't want us to think critically or ask hard questions. They want to demonize immigrants. They want to scapegoat brown and black communities. They want us uninformed, divided, and afraid, so we don't notice that they are robbing us blind. But we see through it, don't we? We know that when they silence honest conversations about race, gender, equity, and justice, they're not protecting students. They want to assert their power over our academic freedom. And we will not be silenced. Workers over billionaires. Workers over billionaires. Workers over billionaires. This is systematic oppression. We are fighting against the system that's built on the backs of our labor. We can't do it individually. You've heard this from every speaker before me. We can't do it alone. We can only do this through collective action. So what can you do? Are you looking at yourself and you might be saying, I'm in a job that doesn't have a union. What can I do? You have to do something. We can't fight individually. What you can do is you can show up. You showed up today. You come to a rally. That's fantastic. To make more of a difference, you can look at all these tables around us. Those are organizations and unions that are working day in and day out to make a difference. Volunteer. Get connected with them. Share their social media posts. There's so many things you can do. So I am challenging each and every one of you to leave today having a plan of how you will do some direct action to make a difference in this space. Every single person here matters to make a difference. So let's raise our collective voices and let this rally send a message that we are choosing solidarity over division, community over hate, and workers over billionaires. Because workers united will never be defeated. Workers united will never be defeated. Workers united will never be defeated. Thank you very much.
Librarian. She's a hell raiser. Don't let the librarian fool you, y'all. All right, up next we've got James Sargent with the CWA. James, come on up.
How y'all doing tonight? Sound like y'all fired up, ready to go. I want to share a little bit with y'all tonight about why I'm better being in a union. I want to share a true story about me as a young man. I was in my early 30s. I went to work for a big corporation that I work for now, and I'd been working there about a year and a half. I'd signed the union card when I first started working there and didn't know what I signed it for or anything of what it meant. So one day I get a call that says your mother's passed away. As a mama's boy, it took it very hard. My mother was very young. She was 58 years old. I was 30. And I took it very hard when my mother passed away. It doesn't matter how tough I look, but when it came to mama, I'm a weak one. I'll be the first to admit. So anyhow, when we had my mother's service, not a soul one for my work was there. And I seen my brothers and sisters, people was there with their work, and I seen them all there, and I was kind of even hurt more that my coworkers wasn't there. So I go back to work, and I asked my coworkers began to ask me, and I reckon I was kind of upset. They could tell I was upset. Why have you ain't been to work? I said, because my mama died, and I would have thought at least one of y'all would have came and paid respect. I thought y'all was supposed to be my friends. Well, we didn't know anything about it. You didn't know nothing about it? No. So they went to question my boss. My boss told them, I got a business to run. I don't have time to take care of things like that. So then, you ain't heard it all. So then I get my paycheck. I was off 3 days for my mother's funeral. I only get paid for 1. I'm like, they didn't. So I started telling people, my coworkers, they didn't even pay me for 1 day. I thought we got paid 3 days for funeral leave. It was my mama, God's sake. So next thing you know, they spread the word, and next thing you know, this big fella come walking in. Sergeant, I said, yes, sir. He said, is that you? I said, yes. He said, I'm your local president here, and I hear that your mother passed away. And first of all, I hear you didn't get paid for 2 days of pay. I said, yes, sir, that's correct. He said, second of all, I want to apologize to you. He said, this local normally sends out a planet of flowers or a plant on your behalf. I'm very sorry. I was not aware of it. And he said, you will get your flowers tomorrow. And he said, second of all, you will get your 2 days pay back, or this local will pay it out of our own fund. You will get it. Well, I'm just a young kid, and I'm thinking, yeah, I've heard them stories before. People going to help you, and they don't. Well, next thing you know, he comes walking up to me about a week later and says, when you get your paycheck, make sure your 2 days of pay on there. They're on there. You would be paid. I said, boy. Then he looks at me and he said, I want one favor. I said, what's that? He said, I asked, would you please come to one of my union meetings? I said, that's the least I can do, sir. When is it? So I attend the union meeting, and I hear him standing up, and he's talking to all the young folks, and he's saying, Sarge didn't get paid for 2 days of funeral leave. He said, do you think those corporate billionaires are going to volunteer to just pay him out of the blue? He said, no. He said, we fought for a contract. We've got a contract. The contract says he's paid 3 days, and that's what he's going to be paid as long as I'm president. And he said, do you think that these billionaires that own this company is going to volunteer to give you boys more money, sick time, or anything else? And I'm sitting there like, oh, this old man's going off here tonight. And they all just sit there. And he said, no. He said, we fought for a contract to get you all what you got, and now we're going to see that you get it. So, with this all being said, I look around here and I'm worried. I see a lot of grandparents here. A lot of grandparents, grandfathers, grandmothers in this crowd. And I'm worried. The billionaires we, as you grandparents and myself, in the 90s, we had a great thing that became president, and that was Bill Clinton. The American dream was, we were living the American dream. We were all prospering, the unions were prospering, and we all sat back and let the billionaires sneak behind the door scene and start planning to take away from what we fought for. Well, it is time now for us as grandparents to come back and fight back. We can do it. Ways that when I say fight back, I ain't talking violence. I'm not a violent man. We fight back by educating our grandkids. We fight back by educating our neighbors. We put loyalty back in our unions. We need loyalty. We need people to be loyal. When a brother and sister's in need in Pikeville, Kentucky, and you hear about it, get in. Don't cry that I don't feel good today. Get in your car and drive down there and show that you're there to support them. When somebody in Mayfield, Kentucky, Paducah, it's the same thing. We've got to come back and take away from these billionaires. We need to put the fear back in the politicians. The billionaires have bought and paid for those politicians. Well, we need to put the fear back in them. How do we put the fear? We show them we're organized, we're educating our children, We're united, and we can take and we will turn this thing around. Don't think we ain't. We've already turned it around. We won Amendment 2 and beat them bad. We beat them bad. In 2001, we had 14 million union workers in the United States. Today, we got 14,026,000 union members. Each year, we've gained union members. Well, we got to continue with this work and continue to push and push and push so our grandkids can live what we've lived and have the American dream, and do not let these billionaires take it away from us. Thank you all.
I'm going to move us quick. Next up, we've got Jeremy Jenkins with Local 189. Jeremy, where you at? Where you at? All right.
Okay, I'm not a public speaker, but thanks to these wonderful teachers, I can read. So, my name is Jeremy Jenkins, and I'm proud to serve as business manager of Laborers Local 189, representing hundreds of the hardest working union laborers across Kentucky. Today, we honor the men and women who built this Commonwealth and this nation. From the coal mines to the cornfields, from bourbon barrels to bridges, from skyscrapers to schoolhouses, and from power plants to pipelines. Union labor has been the driving force lifting working families out of poverty. We've secured livable wages, safe working conditions, family health care, and the promise of a pension. Without labor, the billionaires would still be standing on bare ground with no bridges, no buildings, and no future. But corporate greed hasn't slowed for a moment, and neither can we. We must stand united because the struggles of the past are not behind us, and new battles are already at our door. Every right we have today was not given. It was won through sweat, sacrifice, and blood. And if we don't stand ready to defend those victories piece by piece, then we'll try to take them back. Here in Lexington, in the heart of the Bluegrass, on this Labor Day, let us raise our voices, not just for ourselves, but for our children and grandchildren, because the future of working people does not belong to billionaires. It belongs to the people who build our roads, grow our food, teach our children, heal our sick, and power our homes. And let us remember this: solidarity is more than a slogan. It is our shield. It is our strength. When one of us is lifted, all of us rise. So let's make it clear today and every day. The right to organize is our right. The right to a union is our power. And when workers unite, workers win.
Alrighty, next up we have Amy Beasley from the Central Labor Council. Bluegrass Central Labor Council. Hello. Okay. Did she leave? Alright, I'm going to skip her and we're going to go with Bob. Bob McNulty. No takers. Okay. Well, here then, we're going to head straight on to Adrian with the Tenants Union.
We're a group that trains and supports people in fighting for a fair lease with their landlord and fighting for greater tenant protections across Kentucky. I believe that housing is a human right. I believe that we should all have access to dignified housing, regardless of the luck of our birth or our individual capacity to labor. I believe that the means of production should be held by the people. And I believe that that production should go beyond what is profitable, and it should center what is good for the land and also what is healthy for the living beings on that land. that we should be able to spend our time and our labor on building and restoring homes, on making sure everyone is fed and has health care, and that everyone has access to a good education, and fulfilling ways to spend our time. But instead, our politicians and the people who pay them are spending our money on war, forced starvation, genocide, data centers that pollute our waters and raise our utility bills, on so-called public safety programs that call the National Guard into our cities instead of supporting and resourcing us when we're struggling. I believe that we must see the truth of our politicians, which is that across party lines, they are more impacted by their money than by their people. We must harness our people and our economic power as laborers, as workers, as tenants. We must prepare ourselves to strike in all parts of our lives that we can strike. At work, at home, and outside. We have to get ready to hold our politicians and the people who pay them accountable for the state of our country and the world that enacts its imperialism on. Some things that we need in order to get strike ready is to get educated on union busting and the fear tactics our employers and our landlords might use against us. We need to get our legal and our representation and resources together. Get trained on collective bargaining. We need to build trust and community with our coworkers and with our neighbors. And we need to redefine what it means to be a neighbor, beyond the person whose mailbox, your mailbox is beside, to the person you walk down the street with. We need to ask each other what wins we want to see, what power we need as laborers and as tenants to secure those wins. We must include, but we cannot stop at mutual aid. We cannot stop at the 2026 midterms or the 2028 elections. We all need to be part of building a coherent, grassroots strategy that unites and shifts power to poor and working class people. We need to be planning 10 years into the future like our enemies do. We need to take responsibility for our own small parts in making this world the way it is right now. And we all need to be a part of building something better. If that feels intimidating or too much for you to do, that's understandable. That's why our CEOs make people work on Labor Day. That's why they stalled us at 40 hours, 9 to 5. They want us tired and overwhelmed. But that's also why there are so many great organizations here for folks to join. These organizations here are places to hold the work of positive transformation and to make it so that none of us feel like we're in this alone. A lot of these organizations have specific work teams or committees that fit the kind of work you might feel called to do. In the weeks leading up to this Labor Day rally, there are about 5 to 6 planning meetings, and I'm probably undercounting. Tents have been sourced, speakers found, the layout planned, the digital invites created, the science made, the speeches written, the sound checked. That's one rally. Now think about a whole revolution. It's going to take a lot of planning and action, right? Yeah! And we're all going to have to do it together, right? Yeah! All right, so if you haven't already, go join an org. Go to a table and tell them about yourself. Hear what they have to say. Choose from there. And when they call you later, pick up the phone. Thank you. Happy Labor
ALC.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your holiday to come out to this wonderful rally. It's good to see so many people out. I do want to set the record straight as a letter carrier and a proud member of NALC. We're one of the highest rated professions in the country for trust. So it is disingenuous for anyone to say that vote by mail is corrupt. And worse yet, why would you vote
a dictator of Russia to say he says vote by mail is corrupt. Does he actually think we're that stupid? Americans may disagree, but we don't go around quoting dictators or war criminals, so I'm proud to be a letter carrier, but I'm telling you, it's the start of the spear of the attack. If they get to take away vote by mail, and there's no evidence. Oregon has had vote by mail for decades, and there's just no evidence that there is such a thing going on. So, short of calling it a lie, it's not the truth. Come on. But that's the start. If they're going to take away vote by mail or make it easy to vote, and you already got to jump through some hoops, what else is happening? Just watch it. I mean, I know you all are very intelligent people, or you wouldn't be out here. You know what's going on, and we need to tell our neighbors, members of our family. But we're not going to stand by and watch them take away our right to vote. It's enshrined, and it's up to the states. It's not up to the federal government. They're going to take over everything like they want to. We've got to keep fighting. So, I'm proud to be here and proud of you. I'm proud to be a fellow Labor Day supporter. We were out at Battle Axis today with the unions. We had our Labor Day out there, and it was one of our best days. And then we were all planning to come down here. So thanks for lifting us up and giving us energy. Thank you.
I'm going to do one more call from Ms. Amy Beasley. She is going to have next to him. We're going to have Representative Adriel Camuel. I believe she's the 93rd district. She's also a very proud union member and one of the founding members of AFT Fayette. Well, hello. Can you hear me? All right, good. So the really awesome thing about this is we've heard from some amazing speakers, and the insane part is everything they said is what's in my speech. And if this is part of the movement, this is what we're supposed to do. So thank you all for being here. I'm Adriel Camuel. I am the state representative for District 93, and I want to thank you all for coming out here and spending part of your holiday weekend with us and supporting your union members. Not just here at home, but also in Fraser and our state capitol. And I cannot thank you enough for attending the rally and bringing the true meaning of Labor Day to life. What you are doing is making a difference today and tomorrow. While we stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us, we must never forget that we stand pretty tall ourselves. And this rally is further proof of that. Now, for some of those who oppose us and believe that our cause is radical, let me ask you a couple of questions. Is it really radical to want fair and equal pay? No! Is it really radical to want safe working conditions and stricter child labor laws? No! Is it really radical for employees to have the ability to speak with one voice? No! So let me tell you this. None of that is radical. And our opponents know it, but they simply don't care. And I'll tell you what is radical. What's going on right now in Washington, in Frankfurt, and in the boardrooms of corporations all around this country. So far in my lifetime, CEO pay has increased 1,000%. Well, I work in this pay, and I'm not that old. I mean, I'm a little old, I'm not that old. But workers' pay has only increased by 24%, in spite of the fact that productivity has jumped 70%. This massive gap in pay is the foundation of an economy that rewards billionaires and exploits workers and working families. Today, the wealthiest 1% in America have almost as much money as the bottom 90% of combined. Folks, and that ain't right. It's actually obscene, because that money was earned on our backs and taken from our wallets.
As much as the 1%ers have, they still want more. That's why we're seeing so many elected leaders bend over backwards to make it tougher for working people like you and me to try and make ends meet. And the goal is to separate us and bleed us dry. They don't want us sitting at the table begging for crumbs. They want us out back, rummaging through the trash cans. What if these slanted policies look like here in Kentucky? You can see them in laws that ultimately weaken collective bargaining rights and reduce workplace protections in Kentucky. They can also be found in the rise of right to work for less and the downfall of prevailing wage on public works projects. Other examples are the constant attacks on teachers and the barriers that keep getting put in place for social safety nets and programs like workers' comp and unemployment insurance. Just as legislative leaders don't hesitate to act against workers, they've also embraced inaction. You all, we have not seen an increase in minimum wage in the state of Kentucky for 16 years. Right. No state in the United States have more minimum wage workers than Kentucky. And we learned this summer, the numbers came out, for anybody who works a minimum wage, 40 hours a week, will still not earn enough to get above the federal poverty limit. And so that is wrong on every level. My colleagues in the Kentucky House Democratic Caucus and I are committed to reversing these harmful trends. Our policies would put workers and working families back at the forefront. We believe it's time to prioritize worker needs over the interests of billionaires. And it's time for higher minimum wage, earned sick leave for all employees, and closing persistent pay gaps that keep women and minorities already behind the very first time they ever clock in. We need to return to prevailing wage and end right to work. And it's time to crack down on wage theft and help those who have paid their debt to society get back on their feet more easily. And I hope the one thing you take away from this rally is the knowledge that when workers have a voice, entire communities thrive. When they don't, billionaires get richer. Just a few days ago, workers at Blue Oval SK battery plant near Elizabethtown voted to join the UAW. And that's the latest sign, but far from the last one, that at last, the pendulum is starting to swing back in our direction. More and more people see that when we choose workers over billionaires, everybody wins. Union workers earn 10 to 15% more than their non-union counterparts. That is money that stays in our local economies. It helps our small business owners, and it keeps our schools funded. It's not money that's hidden in an offshore account or spent on trying to put celebrities into space. And invest in people, not just portfolios. We need an economy that works for everyone, not just the wealthy. So the choice is clear. Workers over billionaires. Community over corporate greed. And the roar of the many over the whispers of the pampered few. We have a lot of work in front of us. But with people like you, with me, and all of us working on the side of what is right, I am certain that victory for working families and our working Kentuckians is within reach. So thank you all for coming out. Thank you for being here. Let's keep supporting our unions, keep supporting working families, and have a wonderful rest of your Labor Day.
Let me just say this before I open it up for the open mic and let you all run rampant throughout the streets like the hellraisers that you are. I want to say this. Unions are the great equalizer. There's nothing more that shows equity than a union. And it is our responsibility as union members to always keep that in mind. We're all in this together. This is not anything that can be done by just one person. It's truly not. It takes us all. And I want to say this, my dream for Fayette County is this.
I want it to be a union town. I want it to be known as a union town. I want everyone to be proud and say, I support my unions, I support my postal workers, I support my teachers, I support my parents, I support my auto workers, I support the folks that make the machines that give us the ability to live comfortably. We can do this. This is our town, our unions, our jobs, our community, our schools, and this is our town. Let's keep going, Lexington. Let's keep showing up for each other. Let's support each other. If you need anything from the American Federation of Teachers, please let us know. We are building community. We will not stop. We are including anybody and everybody who supports us and wants to work with us. We want to work with you. We want to stand with you. We want everyone to rise. When workers rise, we all rise. Thank you all. This is going to be anybody that wants to come up and have your say. Please do so now. Keep it respectful. And try not to be a union buster.
Not be a union buster.
And I'm wondering, people who are sometimes in big crowds, somebody wants to get something on and even hurt, and get a little jolt, and only later do you realize that your pocket has been hit. Well, education has gotten a jolt, and our pocket has been hit. Healthcare has had a jolt, and our pocket has been hit. Our environment has been challenged and destroyed, and our pocket has been hit. But as we watch this money disappear from our resources, where is it going? Well, some of it's going to billionaires, some of it's going to deport lots of neighbors who are working immigrants, and another chunk is going to something that created a huge crisis in this nation 45 years ago. That was Ronald Reagan's proposal for Star Wars, which we saw as a danger to lead to a massive nuclear arm race. Star Wars protests created the largest peace protest in the history of the world. Millions in the United States, millions in Europe, millions in Asia rose up to oppose Star Wars. In the great big beautiful bill is a proposal for a Golden Dome missile defense. A more expensive thing than ever imagined with Star Wars, and with the greatest danger of sending us into a nuclear arms race. If you don't know anything about Star Wars and want to see the positive side of it and where money goes, just log in to the Lockheed Martin website. What it won't tell you is that building defensive weapons against nuclear attacks cost 10 times as much as offensive weapons. Yet every time you build a defense, people come up with a new offense, and it leads to a cycle of incredible spending, robbing from people all over the world. So I am encouraging you, pay attention. Pay attention to where that money is going. It's being taken from us. It's going to billionaires. It's going to deport hard-working immigrants, and it's going to a Golden Dome missile defense. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm not from Kentucky, I'm from Stamford, Connecticut, but I found the time in my day for my vacation to come here to this protest. I think that everyone should get their priorities. We don't want rights from the billionaires, they have enough. We need to get our priorities for us. We need to stand up and work together, or else nothing will change. We need to work together and we need to get everyone together and protest, which is exactly what we're doing now. So I want to say good job to everyone here today. We're doing amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Donald Trump and JFK Jr. are trying to make us sick and stupid. They're defunding education. They're taking money away from the NIH, the NSF. They're taking Medicare and Medicaid away from people. And they're refusing to give us vaccines. They put a moratorium on mRNA vaccines, the one that saved us from the COVID epidemic and could save us from the next flu pandemic. What the heck are they doing? We don't need that. We need to be healthy. We don't need a freak who's got a brain worm dictating our health policy. Let's make America healthy again by getting rid of this freak show.
I just wanted to come and say thank you to all the older folks that are setting the stage for younger generations to stand up and actually fight. There's so many older people here, and I look up to you guys. Thank you so much for fighting all this time, and you're still here. You're still out in the crowd. I see you. You got your water. You got to bring a chair. Thank you so much. You're inspirational. Woo!
Y'all, I just wanted to again thank you all for coming out. I know you didn't have to, but you did. It means a lot to the people that are in labor and that are working every single day to have the voices heard of the more marginalized and the people that cannot stand up for themselves for whatever reason. We're in it together. Let's stay in it. We'll see y'all at the next rally. Thank you all very much. I say what? Sidewalks. We're going to go down the sidewalks and we're going to walk and we're going to show our solidarity after tonight. So if you guys want to head on down and we're going to start walking that way. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just standing today. We're sorry about that. We're just going to stand here and get some people to honk, and we're going to stand in solidarity and show people exactly what Fayette County's got going on, and that labor is here. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Power to the people.
Right.